What's up, everyone? Drew, aka Catching Rockets here. Sorry I'm a few minutes late. Suddenly had to use the restroom. Anyway, I hope everybody had a good day today. Today marks day 3 of me not trading. Kind of the same thing. Stayed up late, chit-chatting with the wife. Woke up late, just didn't feel like it. And yeah, whatever. So this was the area that we identified for puts. It went a little bit above. Actually, right at the open, right, it tapped our area for puts, and you could have played it down. Then we retraced back, went a little bit higher. You could have got in again. You would have been, red for a minute. And then it sold off and went all the way to our area where we were watching for calls. Dipped a little bit below, but then did end up bouncing and coming back to the area that we were watching for puts. And hopefully you guys understand that this is where you would close. I also feel like I need to clear something up because it came up like in Keenan's Discord today. And I was pretty confused. And I think the person that was asking thought that I was being aggressive or something, and I am not. I should add... CVX is a miss. Like, it went up and it triggered and then it rejected back down. But anyway, I was just very confused. Hopefully this makes sense to the majority of people. I said calls above 333.45, which would mean price needs to cross through 333.45 and then you would take calls. Somebody was like, oh, you said, Tesla was going to break out today. And I'm like, okay. Obviously I was wrong. We gapped down. It didn't cross my entry. Based on what I shared, you shouldn't be in calls. The only thing that I said about Tesla today was if we go to 5 minutes, when this here was happening, let me see this. Something like that. I said we were going lower. And the reason that I felt like we were going lower is this bear pennant was forming below my support level. And then I said, like, my next support is 299 down to 296, and we broke through that and ended up going way lower. So I do want to see how this bear flag played out that we were talking about yesterday. I'm not going to draw the whole thing, but I am going to draw fibs. So based on the bear flag, this would be your first target right here, second target, third, fourth, fifth. Pretty crazy. When you're hitting like the fifth target, it's 100% a trend day on whatever it is that you're looking at. Actually, even like hitting third, fourth trend day. Wild day for Tesla. I said 20-point move, but it went the wrong direction. Anyway, so just to be clear, when I say calls above, that means I want price to open. I mean, I don't care where price opens. Price can open here, but then I want it to come back below and then cross back over. And then as it's crossing the level that I'm giving, that's where you would enter calls. If we open below as it crosses over, you would enter calls, right? Neither of that happened. So hopefully that clears up any confusion that there might be. I feel like this is pretty clear, but apparently there was some confusion, and I don't want there to be confusion on my plays that I'm sharing. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and delete a bunch of stuff. I love it when a lot of levels get cleaned up. All right, let's go ahead and take a look, see what we're looking at for tomorrow. AG, you're asking me to use technical analysis to figure out something that's based on news, and that will never work. I don't even understand what happened between Trump and Musk. I have work tonight, so I was sleeping for most of the day, and kind of surprised. I heard a little bit about it, but not much. All right. Let's look at our... oh, sorry. Let's do our SIGs really quick, then we'll do TPO. We've got 3 days in the same range, so we can draw SIGs on those. Still looking like second and third SIG are going to be close up at the top, which doesn't surprise me at all. Actually, first, second, and third are going to be close at the top. So that just basically means there's a lot of distribution happening up here. Alrighty. And then we'll turn on TPO, but just to kind of show people, you know, not everybody has like the premium package for TradingView. Just so you guys know, this is really essentially the previous week value area high. I think it's like a penny off or whatever. I would combine the two levels, but I'm giving the actual levels just so that you have it in case you want it. All right, so single prints at the bottom. At the top, this is going to be a poor high, right? Why can't I find it? There we go. Anyway, let's turn on TPO. Just take a look and make sure that I am correct. Yep, so here's our single prints. Poor high. It's kind of, I mean, you could call this single prints. I'm definitely calling it a poor high. They're close enough that I'm going to identify that as a poor high. I don't like that I drew it from the wrong A period. Sorry, I'm pretty anal about weird things. Alrighty. let's go ahead and zoom out, take a look at the big picture, try to figure out what we're going to be looking for tomorrow. Today ultimately is a D-shaped profile. So pretty indecisive. We're still trading in the same 3-day range. They've come back into... Well, I guess we closed above, but they did dip back into like our previous 5-day range that we were trading within. Yeah, exactly, Alan. I was not counting on Elon and Trump having a falling out. Pretty wild. Oh, interesting. Okay. All right, so pretty significant volume on the day. The most we've had since May 25th. Looks about equal to Friday, May 30th. Actually, no, it's a little bit higher. Obviously, bearish day. I wouldn't be terribly surprised to see a retest of the 585.20 level and then bounce and go and make new all-time highs. Obviously, losing that, then we start to get a little bearish. Losing 576.98, we become more bearish, or at least I do. Let's see what futures are doing right now. I don't think much of anything. We've bounced a little bit. SPY's at 593-ish. Or 592.79, close enough. Wait, did I not label my third sig? Interesting. Good job. All right, let's take a look at what news we have tomorrow. Wow. So really not much during the day, but an hour before the open, we have employment change, unemployment rate, hourly earnings month over month, non-farm employment change, and unemployment rate in America, unemployment rate in Canada. And that's really it for tomorrow, but it's all right before the open. We should get some major volatility an hour before the market opens. Oops. I would not be surprised for tomorrow to be a down day. But with that said, all right. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm going to go ahead and post this, and then I'm going to call it a day and go get ready for work. Oh, also, I want to see where ABBV is. This thing is like annoying the shite out of me. Today we finally got like a decent move down, and then we bounced, came back into the area where I was looking for puts, bounced, came back into it, bounced. Um, they are being absolutely wild with this. Let me look at the clouds really quick. So today they peaked through the 4-hour top and then rejected, and then came back to it, and then started rejecting again. 4-hour bottom still closed. It's moving up. Daily bottom still closed. Moving a little higher. Super annoying. I will say, based on the MACD, the 4-hour and the daily are both almost open. They're close to opening. Um, so yeah. Let's look at this on SPY really quick. So nothing much changed. Daily top is still closed, and our monthly top is still closed. Right. Daily's almost open. Oh, and also the 4 hours also, or no, it opened back up. It's hard to see, but yeah, it did open back up. Tesla. This might give us a clue. Wild. Right from the daily top that was closed is where we started rejecting, right? So I'll be watching around here for a bounce. 250-ish, I guess, roughly 251 to about 231. All right. What's up, Scary Hours? Hey, what's up, Asuri? BTC is bouncing. Oh, yeah. Pretty decent spot to bounce. They bounced right here. And you can see this was a good support. So the next time, hopefully we break through and it acts as resistance and we go lower. I'm like, hopefully. I feel like everything needs a reset, but that's me. All right. GME. Not something I would be trading, but yeah, I wouldn't touch this. So this isn't a terrible spot to grab like a little trade right around there. It's a support resistance flip. Let me turn off the clouds. They're pretty noisy. So resistance, 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 broken through, support, 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 support. But you're not looking for a big move from there. Like if I was taking this, my first trim level would be right about there. Actually, I'm just going to make it $30. No, that's too low. My first trim would be right here. And then from there, like, I would be all out right around here. They do have potential to go a little bit higher, but as we saw in the clouds, they're closed right around 33-ish. Or 31, sorry. 31.96. We'll call it 32. I would be closing at 31. It's going to be hard for them to break through this level. And even if they do, there's not a whole lot of upside. Okay. I should show this because this is hilarious to me. I don't gloat at people's expense very often, just because it's not like, what's it called? Not very becoming. Also, it's, I don't know. Like, but anyway, there was a conversation, I would say, when was it? I think it was like right on the 23rd, right around there, or maybe over the weekend of the 23rd. And somebody was talking about this Tesla. Why can't I think of the word? Leveraged ETF, right? And I was like, I wouldn't recommend trading leveraged anything. And then they come back and say, some great trader said this was going to 20. And I'm like, what great trader? And then somebody replies, actually, I'm not going to name the person. And I was like, did you literally reference this person as a great trader? And it's just an influencer, a pretty big influencer that I'm sure everybody in the chat knows. To me, he's pretty full of crap and doesn't know what he's talking about. And it's just like, he's just calling out stuff, trying to get people to join his Discord, whatever, buy his courses. I don't know. But he's definitely not what I would consider a great trader. And so anyway, when they said this, I just quickly looked left and I was like, it's going to have a really hard time getting over 1685. I don't see it going to 20. If it does break through 1685, it's got a chance, but there's some levels, that are going to be difficult. I didn't mark anymore, but like this will be hard to get through. And there's just more as we're approaching 20, like even 1927 would be like a good place to close your trade versus calling out like a psychological, $20 on the button level. And then of course the very next day, or I guess it wasn't the next day. Actually, and we must have been talking about this on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, because I feel like it was the very next day. It rejected right where I said it would, and it's just been dumping ever since, right? Fortunately, I feel like when I pointed this out, I talked the person out of taking a call on this. They were like, oh yeah, I can see that that's going to be a difficult level for price to get through. But yeah, I mean, just be careful who you guys are listening to. Actually, if Asuri's still in the chat, like me and you have had a conversation about this particular person, and maybe this will rattle your memory, but like a particular person, like being supportive of them and like kind of, calling them out and mentioning them in their videos or whatever else, and you having a conversation with them like, why would you do that? They're terrible. Yeah, that's who I'm talking about. Anyway, with that said, much love, much respect. As always, huge thanks to all the subscribers. Extra big thanks to the friends of the stream. If you're new here, basically like 5 days a week, we look at SPY, look for what we're looking for the next day, and generally a couple times a week I'll call out option trades. We have a pretty high win rate on those. Thank you, Ratana. And then generally like a couple times a month we'll go over futures. My mentor will go live on my YouTube and he'll cover what he's watching for on futures for generally like the next week, sometimes for the next, for the next day, sometimes for the next week. And then finally, like once or twice a month, we'll go over actual education and teach what we're looking for, how we trade, so on and so forth. And so if that interests you, I would love it if you hit the subscribe button. Help us get out to other people, and basically, help the YouTube algorithm send more people here. With that said, much love, much respect to everybody. Peace out, and we will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye. Oh, and Shorty will be live in roughly 30 minutes. Oh, wait, no, sorry. In an hour and a half. My bad. So definitely tune in for that. Catch y'all later. Have a good one.